Yes, you can start, Vishnu.
Okay, so am I audible?
Yeah, right.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, friends. First of all, I thank Hatip sir to give a wonderful opportunity for me to take a class. This is something great. Uh, I'm very happy. So, okay, come to the point. Hope you all watch the video carefully. Okay, the video talks about something that be familiar.
Yeah,
I want to discuss. There are three types of learning process. I don't want to give the name at the very beginning. It comes later. And simply, I want to explain what is it. And the first one is the features of learning which he had been undergoing in the forest. What type of learning that he get from the forest. And the second one is the features of learning which he got from the school. And the third one is the features of learning that he get from his future education. Okay, the knowledge, the skill, all the things that he get from these three different situations are not the same.
കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലേ? Yes. Are you able to hear others? Sorry, Vishnu, here, 1 minute. Please tell me
Audible,
others. Okay,
audible,
so
yes.
you can continue. You can.
Definitely, there is a change. There should be a change. Let's we have a look. What are the features of these three different situations? When it comes to the first, that what he learns from the forest, acquire skills, swimming, hunting, climbing, all these kind of skills that he acquired from the forest. And the psychology class we discuss about the fine motor skills, all these things. He is very smoothly. He can move his muscles. Actually, he live with the nature. What Rousseau says, burns the book, break the walls, and throw the child into the boundaries of nature. Okay, we got many things from the nature. He experienced the life with the nature. He got every kind of knowledge. The science education is the all these things is there, but he is not aware about all these things. And the thing is that there is no proper evaluation or assessment is not there in the education, the learning that he get from the forest. When it comes to school, we learn more things. The development of a personality, character development, social values, interaction, more than individual in a proper manner. We know that children are not a clean slate. The role of the teacher is very important. The teacher should be a scaffolder. The teacher gave the base of the students and the students construct the knowledge. We can evaluate each and every student, their performance, their progress. We can find out the progress of your students. There are different kind of assessments, summative, formative assessment of learning, for learning, self and peer assessment. After all these kind of evaluation process, the students undergoing a systematic process, he or she should know his or her own progress, and he can take steps for their improvement. At least there should be a minimum level of learning. Then after school learning, complete your school education. Now you have an idea about who you are, your potential. You can move forward your education. You can go with your profession. You can select a course. You can apply all the things that you learn from your life. If you find any fault with the current education system, you can criticize it. You can correct it, or at least you can think in a critical way. You can experiment with your learning. When we analyze all these three steps, we know that the progress of learning different from one another. At least there should be a change. Definitely, Steve. We learn the skills, knowledge in the forest in different way. When it comes to school, we become more social. The development happens in three domain: cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain. After acquiring the knowledge, you're well settled. You go with your knowledge by selecting different careers, courses that you like. By looking to your starting to now, You can identify the changes that happens in terms of learning. Simply what we can terms it the learning process, what you learn from the forest is an informal. Then the learning that the things that you learn from your school, it's a formal education. Then after your schooling, it can be termed as non-formal education. Right? Thank you, sir. Sir, it's over.
So Vishnupriya,
Hello,
wonderful
sir.
teaching because you have got only a limited time for preparation, but yeah, still you were able to use, yeah, yes. Are you able to hear me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Are you able to hear me? Vishnupriya, you have taught it well because you have got only a limited time for preparation, but still you have given some points, some wonderful points. So informal education, formal education, and non-formal education. When he was learning something in the forest, there was no evaluation. Everything was learned in a natural manner, and there was no evaluation or there was no such process. And he was learning, he was acquiring something without knowing that he was learning something. Everything was natural. But in a school, everything is in a systematic manner. There is evaluation and there is promotion. I mean, passing and promotion. So everything is systematic. Then there is something called personality development. It's a deliberate attempt. And after the school education or after getting some job, again you can go for education. Again you can continue your education, and it is known as non-formal education. You can get more knowledge. You can correct the existing knowledge. You can get more skills. So you have got the real correct idea, informal, formal, and non-formal, and you have given some points, and more points are there. And I feel that Renit will be giving more points. Then again, others also can give points after the teaching session of Renit. Vishnupriya, I appreciate because even without much preparation, you have taught it well for 10 minutes. That's something wonderful, Vishnupriya. Thank you very much. Now, Remit, you can teach your points. You can give your points, Remit.
I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible, Remit. You can start.
Okay, thank you, thank you. First of all, thank you, Hatif sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I think Vishnupriya have talked about it eloquently, fluently, many things, and I don't know what I should say now because she covered everything in a uh, structured way. So I think, as she said, there are three types of education or learning process. There are three types of learning process we can identify, um, and uh, also I think uh, before getting into that, we should know what is what do you mean by learning. I think we already studied it, but still I think learning is an evolutionary process. It is not only in human being, but other species also have their own way of learning things, and it is an adaptive process, and uh, without which we cannot survive in this world. After all, it is an evolutionary thing. So I don't want to be a I don't like to uh, you know it's what should I say. uh, I think that teaching is um, a collaborative process. So I invite your attention. I want to know about your opinion about these things, and uh, also I think as Vishnupriya said, many things we learn uh, unconsciously. That word she didn't use, but still I think many things we learn unconsciously. uh, you know After all, learning is a process which helps to change our behavior permanently, and uh, out of experience we you know acquire new things, we acquire new ideas, and um, anyone knows how did you learn to walk for the first time or the first place? Can you say, have you ever thought about how did you learn to walk? Vaishak, how did you learn to walk? Vaishak is not there.
Yes, I walking was better me. Just like,
Okay, your network is not good. Okay.
are you able to hear me? Hello, Amit.
Yeah. Now I can. Tell me.
So I was supposed to, how did I learn to walk?
How did you learn to walk? Have you remember the exact process, exact day you learn to walk?
No, I guess I don't remember exact day or exact moment when I was like, I just remember the process.
Okay. I think you are not audible.
I the network is too poor here.
I think you are saying that it is not, it cannot be said that which day, which time you, studied or the learned to walk. That's what you are saying.
Yes, he does not really remember. That is my
Faisal,
question. Yeah.
yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's what I said. It's an unconscious process. We don't remember it. We don't need to remember it as well. And like that, many things we unconsciously learn. For example, language. How do we learn language? I'm talking about primary language we speak in our locality. How do we learn that language? Faisal, it is also very difficult, and I don't want to get in. And I think network is not good for many of us, so I don't want to ask questions. So therefore, let's continue this discussion. I think um, like that, there are many unconscious processes that we learn, and we don't know how to, um, you know, get it. How we are learned at processes. So this is what informal learning is all about. We don't know how we got it, yet we have that capability, that ability. It is. I think it is instinctual, and also it is innate in us. There are many skills innate in us, and uh, whenever get an opportunity, it get expressed in a in it get expressed whenever we get an opportunity to express such skills. It unconsciously get expressed in a way. We learn it, by doing it again and again. Call it practice, right? We learn to walk by practicing it. We learn to speak by practicing it. But unconsciously we are practicing it. That is a word we have to use, because we are not practicing for the sake of learning something. Rather, unconsciously we are getting all that skills, to survive in this world. This evolutionary, learning includes in informal learning. That is what I said. This we may call it, it's an evolutionary learning skill which every animal has, but human being uh, have the capability to learn the language skill as well. That is a unique skill of human being, as we know. And after that comes formal education, and formal education is a process by which
When I have a doubt,
students
sir,
learn.
Demis,
Okay.
sir, I have a
Yeah.
doubt. Then
Okay.
you told that we learn something unconsciously or without deliberate attempt. Is there any teacher in the informal educational system? This is my doubt, sir.
Is there any features? Sorry.
Teacher,
Is there any
teacher. Is
features?
there any teacher? For example, we
Sorry. Hello.
know the teacher. Teacher. Is there any teacher who teaches us?
The
Is there any
No,
teacher
there is,
who teaches us these
in the
things? For example, we
formal sense
learn
of
language.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, true. I think there is no teacher, as you said. There is no formal sense of the word, the teacher. I think there is no need of any teacher, and there is no teacher in informal learning. We are learning by imitating others, and there are many processes in our neural network. It is, there are mirror neurons in our head. It helps to imitate others in a big way. We imitate many things. If you, observe a child, you can understand they imitate things.
Then,
They imitate us, big way,
so against,
and uh, through which, okay,
yes, sir, sometimes.
uh,
Okay, sir. Then, yeah, sir. Sorry. Yeah,
tell me, tell
yeah,
me, sir. Uh, I can't
yeah.
hear you. That's why.
There is some problem in network connection.
Now,
You can
now,
continue,
now
Rich.
I can hear you.
Yes, you can
Okay, okay.
continue.
Then comes, as I said,
I
formal
have lost my
education,
network
and
connection. You can continue.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm continuing.
So you feel that there is no teacher, so then something we learn, something. Yeah,
Yeah, something we learn unconsciously by imitating others. You
yeah,
know, uh, it is not an intentional learning. That's what my point. It is, we are not intent to learn things, but it comes our way. It helps us to survive in this world, to adapt with the situation we are in. That sort of learning uh, can be called as informal learning. Also, I think adaptability comes in formal and non-formal learning as well, because we need to adapt according to the situation. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So that process, that adaptability is there in formal and non-formal learning as well. I think formal learning. Am I audible?
yes, David. I'm sorry. Actually, I was left because I lost my network because of the slow connection. You can continue now.
Okay, now let's, as I said, get into formal education. Formal education
Yeah,
is all about learning and think in structured manner. That is correct, but we learn things in a structured manner. Within a syllabus or curriculum framework. We learn things, and the evaluation technique by skill are assessed whether we learn that thing or not, and there is a formal teacher for that to help us to learn things. So it is also in an intentional learning. We are intending to get something out of that learning, and that is what I think formal education is all about. And non-formal education is a process by which we learn things, but there is no need of any evaluation for that. We are learning for the sake of knowing something, and out of curiosity we learn things in order to um, uh, acquire new skill. We learn things, but there is no need of any evaluation for that. It's just mere learning for our satisfaction. Sometimes it helps to uh, it's a sort of a curious, in order to satisfy the curiosity, in order to satisfy our needs. uh, that sort of learning is there. So there is no intention. It is intentional, but evaluation is not there. And like we learn music, or we learn our painting, etc. But there is no need of any evaluation. But if you are interested in sort of that, but you can learn music formally as well. There are colleges as well.
okay,
So
one more question, Dennis, sir. One more question, Dennis, sir.
okay.
If you join a distance educational course for learning music, then will there
Uh,
be evaluation? will there be evaluation?
It depend upon the distance education you are getting. For example,
Yeah,
if you
then
are getting, I don't know, IGNU offers distance learning for music. If they offer such course, it would be formal education because there will have evaluation things also. In that
that's all
sense,
right.
it is a formal education, but it will have syllabus and curriculum, all that thing.
Yeah.
But if you
So
are learning, okay,
yes, you can continue, sir.
okay, that's what I understood by non-formal education. It is intentional, but there is no need of any valuation for that. That's the thing. You can learn new things to increase your uh, increase opportunities in getting jobs and all. But evaluation is not okay. Um, Sometimes it is referred not distance education is referred as non-formal education, but I don't get I don't think that way. I think if it is assessed in a proper manner, I think it should be considered as a formal education. But if it is not assessed, but it is intentional, and we are learning, to satisfy our needs, to satisfy our curiosity, if it is so, we have to consider it as a non-formal education. This is all I want to say at the moment. I think in order to have an interactive class, I think this platform is not good for that thing, and it is very difficult to get a response from our colleagues. So I'm just stopping here. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak uh, in this topic, and I am very honored. And thank you once again.
Yes, wonderful teaching. Definitely, you have given some wonderful points, some amazing points. You told that education is an evolutionary process and something we learn unintentionally, that makes without any deliberate attempt. And such educational system, such an education is known as informal education. We don't learn lots of things without having a teacher. And then sometimes say we learn our language, we learn swimming, we learn walking, we learn uh, riding a bicycle, we learn riding a car, we learn cooking, we learn different things. So these are all parts of a part of informal education. Then there is a qualified teacher, there is examination, there is evaluation, there is passing, there is systematic process in formal education. Then according to Jemik, non-formal education is not a deliberate attempt and it has got evaluation. So I just tell according to Jimmy, maybe some changes there. So my dear students, others, you have been listening to Vishnu Priya.
I'm saying non-formal education
Yeah,
is intentional and deliberate, but there is no
yeah.
need of an evaluation for that. That's what I
Okay,
said.
there is no need for any evaluation. We can check. So yes, wonderful teaching because I'm very glad because both of you were able to teach the topic without having much time for preparation, and this is a very good sign because when you become a teacher, sometimes at times you may be given some topics on the day. Sometimes some of your colleagues may be on leave, then you may have to go to the classroom without much preparation. But you have got the confidence. If you have got the confidence and if you have got some general ideas on different things, I think you can you can teach without much preparation. So others, my dear students, Remit and Vishnu Priya have given you some points. And on next during the next class, you can add more points. And if you want to do some points, or if you want to object the points given by these two people, you can do so. So I think we can come back in the next classroom. So others also can add some points. See, without reading books, it is my demand. You have to keep your honesty. Without reading books, you have to come. Without browsing online for the difference between informal, formal, non-formal education, you have to come back. And if you, yes, I haven't taught unconscious, just Bina, we can come back. What is the meaning of unconscious, deliberate, unintentional? Okay. Now, Jaspina has a question whether we can tell that walking is the learning to walk is can be considered unconscious or not. Okay, we can come back. There are some terms, some psychological terms. We can tell all these things in the next class. So my request is, request to others is not to refer online, not to browse online to look the difference between informal, formal, non-formal education, not to read books. You have to come to the class by thinking about these points, thinking about your life, then thinking about Mowgli, who was learning something in the forest. Now he started learning something. Then sometimes he may have to learn more. Then whether non-formal education has got evaluation or not. Okay, so you can just keep the points given by Vishnupriya and Ajamit. Then you can think more. And you should keep honesty. You should keep honesty. Don't refer any book. Don't browse online for getting anything about the topic. Just think. And this will be helpful for you during your teaching days. Because sometimes we may have to speak something from our own experience. Yeah. So 10:59 it is. We just leave the class. We just stop the class. And I expect more valuable and fantastic points in the next class. Thank you, Remit. Thank you, Vishnupriya, for providing us such a wonderful experience through your amazing teaching. So we can meet again in the next class. Yeah, right. I just stopped the recording. Then don't leave. I have to tell something, please.